Hello, good morning and good afternoon. This is Old Tam, and you have found your way to Old Tam Links Golf and our YouTube channel, and we're kicking off another interview. So I'm Old Tam. With me, my cohort is Scooter.
Hello, gentlemen. Hello, how are we?
And let me introduce the gentleman we had the pleasure to meet when Scooter and I were in Ireland and did a trip almost a year ago. It was a year ago this May. And we started out in the Dublin area, and we had the pleasure to hang out with this gentleman who's, amongst other things, an entrepreneur, a wine importer, a golfer, and almost a lifetime member at the Island Golf Club, James?
Yeah, I've been there. Wow, when you say it like that, I'm 51 now, and I'm there 42 years as a member.
That's rare. That's incredible.
Yeah, actually, I think I was one of the few kids who used to torment the junior liaison officer at about 8 years of age. Could I play? So they let me play, I think, at around 8 years of age.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah. So along that same line, can you tell us about, you're growing up playing links golf there, your first experiences at the island? By the way, let me preface this with Scooter and I have had this chat many times. We played, I think we told you, James, we played about a dozen courses when we were over there. Started out, in your area around Dublin.
I remember.
Yeah, and the island is one that sticks out that both Scooter and I can't wait to go back and play again. We just absolutely loved it. The dunes, the atmosphere, the people, it's a tough golf course. So, but anyway, what was it like growing up playing there?
Yeah, so my first experience, I suppose, with the club, that would have came down from my father's generation who brought us over to the island. So we're from the next town over. It kind of goes the island, Malahide, Portmarnock. And we're all from Portmarnock, but we don't play the golf course there. We're not members. We played it many, many times. My first venture to the island, I think, I would have been about 5 years of age, I think. Myself, I had two brothers, and another brother came along later in life. And we used to be running around the dunes, and we thought the bunkers, so the bunkers are slightly different on links to parkland, inland. We were thinking at this age they were the long jump. And we were just, I'm sure there was members over there. And it's a different club to Portmarnock. It's a different club it's kind of a working man's club.
Mm-hmm.
Portmarnock is an incredible golf course, and the island is kind of a working man's golf course. And I've been over there, since maybe 5 years of age. We drive over on a late summer's evening, walk around with the father, and he was a pretty good golfer. So in the circuit around Ireland, you have some major competitions. You have the Irish Close, won by the likes of Dan Clark, Rory McIlroy, Padraig Harrington, Graham McDowell, Shane Lowry. You'd have the south of Ireland, those in Lahinch. You probably played Lahinch.
We did, yeah. We played Lahinch and then Bunyan, yeah.
The west of Ireland, which has just finished last week over the Easter in Ross's Point. And all these links golf courses, they're incredible. We kind of toured all with my father playing them golf courses, and we just got the bug, and we just wanted to go over to the island and get better and better. We'd share a bag of sticks. We might have a 4-iron, a 7-iron, a wedge.
Mastering those punch shots, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I played all over the world. I played in the States. I played all over Europe. Funny, I hear a lot of visitors saying that they love coming over and playing links golf, and I agree. It really sharpens your game. But I love the parkland because all I've ever played is links.
Sure.
And it's really, really interesting, yeah. But I love it. I'm a member of the islands 40 odd years, and there's no better place. And not so much the golf course, gentlemen. Also the surrounding, like the clubhouse with the catering people. It's not nothing too serious, too intense, yet all at a high standard.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense, James. When we were there, I think what we loved about it was the entire experience. Everybody was so warming and welcoming us. And I think I sat down and had lunch before our round, and we're practicing such, and just great people. And it's a great place to be. But it's this, per your previous statement, Scooter and I are kind of the opposite. We grew up playing parkland courses in Columbus, Ohio, you know, where the town where Jack Nicklaus grew up, right? I think we told you that. Columbus, yeah. And so we found links golf via a links-like course that we went to in North Carolina as kids and as teenagers. And we're like, oh, this is kind of fun. You know, this sandy soil and fescue and, you know, gorse and stuff. And this is a lot of fun. And it wasn't until many, many years later that we came over the pond and played all those wonderful links courses. But I can see why you would say, yeah, I want to play something a little different, right? But so do you make it over here very often? Are you coming over anytime in the next year or so?
I haven't been over to America. I think it was over the year before COVID.
Okay.
And funny you should ask that. Like you guys, we're here chatting, and I got to meet you when you came over. A couple of gentlemen did play the island also, and one of the gentlemen, he joined overseas this year, and he has asked me to come over. But hopefully get a chance to go over. The last time I was over was maybe 7 years ago. But yeah, I will. The boys, I have a young son, 2 young sons. Again, they're both members, and it's kind of just following on from my father to his kids, me to my kids. And he's 14, and he's off 2, so he's pretty good. And he's playing.
Well, yeah,
so
let us.
He's costing me a lot of money. That's a kid.
I love it. Yeah, I think you had mentioned that there's the island in the background, if you can see it.
Wow.
For those folks watching, this is a great overshot there. I think you had mentioned your son to us. He's a up and coming junior golfer, correct?
Look, I'm his dad, so I have to kind of follow his dream with him. He's telling me he's going to win the Masters, so why not, kid? Why not? So yeah, he's playing the Irish boys this week. He was in the Leinster boys last week. We were practicing there in a couple of different golf courses. That's the 4th. That's the new par 3. Well, that's both new to us. They did a lot of work.
Looking across. That's where the boatman would pick you up back in the day, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So this one that you can see down the bottom.
Yeah,
that's the 14th. So this is par 3. That's Malahide in the distance. So this is a par 3. This is our signature. This is the 14th.
There's number 14. That's the one that if you can play across the bay, it's about 800 yards.
Yeah. I think, when I had my Google, my GPS watch on, I think it was 650 yards from Malahide to the 13th green.
Well, there you go.
That's awesome. That's very good.
There. Okay, I'll stop there. At any rate, so we just, I think everything about that course, we loved it. And I think it was, Scooter, I think you mentioned it was, a great walk. That's kind of our barometer, James. If it's a great walk and we're carrying our bags and a nice day, that's, kind of how we kind of rate the courses. What are your thoughts on that, Scoots?
Yeah, well, so James, your course was my favorite course in the Dublin area, without a doubt. The dunes were the best and the most intense. Maybe the European Club was the second, but I was not crazy about Portmarnock. That was more like an American course for me. But the dunes at your course were tremendous. I loved it right off the bat, having to tee off going through the dunes. And your whole clubhouse setup was much more for the common man, which I prefer. I get a little bit uptight around the stuffy country clubs where there's a lot of formality and you got to dress super uptight. I really enjoyed the island course more than any. And on our way over there, you were telling us about the perfect Guinness pour, and maybe you can elaborate on that. And I'm wondering if you know about the Guinness Challenge. I'm sure you do. I was in Belfast with my nephew, and he pulled this trick on me when we got a couple of Guinnesses. He said, "Scooter, this is the Guinness Challenge." And I hit it right on the head the first time. I'm never going to try it again. But do you know about the Guinness Challenge?
is the Guinness challenge. So we have a couple of kind of challenges. Is one how to fill the pint or how to split the G?
Yeah, so your first
What did
shot
you-
out of the pint, you want to land the foam right between the harp and the word Guinness.
Yeah,
And so I chugged twice as much as I thought would be right, and I landed it perfect. My nephew was like, "I can't believe that. I've been trying for weeks." And I said, "That's it. I'm never doing that again."
yeah. So the Guinness, funny enough, I worked for Guinness's for close to 5 years, many years ago, and I worked in the technical division. So I was kind of really into making sure that the quality was to the highest standard wherever you went. And it's not. I hope nobody from Guinness or Diageo sees me say this. It's quite a temperamental drink. Let me explain. It's different in the States or in Europe or in the UK than it is to Ireland. And again, it changes all over Ireland. And that has a lot to do with how the bar person, male or female, fills it. Like the glass has to be temperature nice and cold from the shelf, nothing from the fridge, just off the shelf. The 2.4, where you let it settle for whatever 60 seconds and top it back up. But if a premises is doing food, it tends to mix with the washing machine or the detergent, and there's a little bit of filling or something on the glassware. And somebody made a very good point there, actually, Scooter, that during COVID, when people were getting plastic cups, nobody ever really got a bad point because the plastic cup is brand new. Now, it's not the ideal, but Guinness wouldn't say that. But it is a temperamental drink, and there is certain bars and pubs in Dublin that are far superior than anywhere else. You've got like Mulligan's, the Gravediggers, and many more. Then you go into the hotels, and it just doesn't pour as good. I know Guinness, if they see this, they'll scold me for that one. But basically, it's a 2.4, and then when you get it, you have to split the G, and if you split the G, boom.
All right. Well, now, when you're drinking your Guinness, do you prefer guitar and fiddle music or bagpipes?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a good question. So I love a bit of music, and my brother plays the banjo, and the other brother plays the guitar, and I sing, but they all sing also. But oh yeah, maybe good question. Maybe the fiddle.
Maybe it's a toss-up. That's all good.
It's
Okay.
I think you can't go wrong with either one. Myself, I would probably go with guitar and fiddle. Remember the trio we saw up at St. Patrick's in Rossapena, Scooter?
Yeah, they were excellent.
That was good stuff.
I haven't played St. Patrick's, but I heard it's incredible.
Yeah, I was going to tell you, James, we didn't have a chance to talk about this, but yeah, if you ever get a chance, it's in Rossapena. It's in the town of Downings, almost as far north and west as you can go in Donegal, right? And there's 3 courses there. The old Tom Morse course is still there, right? You probably know about it. But St. Patrick's is a Tom Doak masterpiece, I think. I've had the pleasure of playing a lot of his courses, but it's just incredible, James. And it's right on Sheephaven Bay, and his routing through the dunes was incredible. I think I want to say it's in the top 50 in the world now, which is I think it opened up right after COVID, if I remember right.
I heard that. I heard it's incredible. I've yet to play it, but someday I will, hopefully.
Yeah, you'll get up there. You'll definitely get up there.
It's like the European Club. The European Club now is closed for 2 years.
Yeah, that's interesting. So when we saw you, I think you were the one that told us that it was up for sale. We played it and we met. Was it Patrick Jr. Scooter that dubbed you Alfred? At any rate, he was quite a guy. Funny, quirky. He said, "Well, we're going to sell soon. Don't tell anybody, but I'm sure I'll see you on a beach somewhere in the Bahamas." So
wow.
They probably made a few bucks on the sale, I would imagine.
Yeah. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure of the actual figure, but it's going to go through huge renovations.
Interesting.
It's like the island. The island actually this year and last year, the end of 25, when the season is finished and October comes in, you will see a massive change to the island this year. So
interesting.
From October, we literally only started back in the first week of April on 18 holes. We did a huge job up around the green, at the back of the green, on the first, all around the back. We've taken away the gravel paths and we've gone to grass.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah. So some of the images you've seen earlier on there, Tom, would be grass paths now. They're not that kind of white gravel. And then all around the second tee box is done.
I remember the second tee box. I remember the kind of number one was kind of like a half amphitheater, and then it opened up to the back, up to number 2 tee.
So
Is that right?
they did an incredible job there. Incredible
Yeah.
job.
I can't wait to go back.
Yes, it's phenomenal. They raised the fifth fair because the water table, I think, we had a wet January, February, March this year.
Sure.
Quite wet. And we were on mats up until the first week in April. And like the island have invested this year, 25, end of 25, 26. They've put in a new green on 6, a new bunker front left. I played it the other day. They put in a new bunker on 5 in the corner. There's no way you're going to get the green from where it is on the par 4 and the 5th. I don't know if you can remember it. They put in 2 bunkers on 11. It's done a huge amount of work this year. Maybe too much.
Oh, interesting.
Maybe too much.
Oh, I think one of my favorite holes or stretch of holes was probably 11 through 14 or so. And
I'd agree.
13, the par 3.
Yeah.
Right on the bay. And then you come to the 14 tee. And again, as you said, the narrowest fairway in the world. I think that stretch was a lot of fun. Number 11 was challenging. I'm pretty sure I didn't make par there.
They put two bunkers, maybe 250 off the back tees.
I can picture it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Funny, when I was there, I hadn't played over the winter. I was just work, and the first quarter of the year for me just be quite busy. I'd go over there with Sam, my son, and I'd go around, but they look as if they're there 100 years, the bunkers. Incredible job, like 10 out of 10.
Who was doing the
It's Dar Golf.
Okay.
EAR, Dar Golf. And
Okay.
Aquaturf, Stephen Daly from Aquaturf. So both of them work together, and it's been absolutely incredible. Really has.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Segway and speaking of libations and Guinness, you're a wine importer. Is it I-19 Wines and Spirits? That's your passion?
Yeah. So I worked for Guinness many years ago. And funnily enough, I was playing in the Irish Championship in Killarney. I don't know if you know Killarney. Have you played Killarney? It has hosted the Irish Championship many, many years ago, and the Irish Open. But I was playing in the amateur event, and we were going out for dinner. I was working for Guinness's at the time. We were going out for dinner, and one of the guys said, "You'll have a glass of wine, James." And I said, "Yeah, sure, why not? Yeah." And I absolutely loved it. It was the perfect meal with the perfect bottle of wine. Now, it was kind of Christmas number 1, if you know what I mean. It was just a fluke. And when I went back to Guinness were toying with the idea of going into the wine industry and just importing wine and selling to the trade. And the boss at the time moved on, and he asked me would I come to this new company, and they needed somebody in the wine division, and I said, yeah, sure, why not? Gave me a few extra euros, and I went working for him for a while and seemed to do well, and worked for 2 or 3 different companies and seemed to do okay. And then I said, no, I'm going to do it for myself. So in 2019, we were toying with the idea to set up a business, and I was looking for the name of the company, and Sam, whatever age he was at the time, 10 or less, he said, well, I wind that, or I said, maybe I-19. I started in 2019. That's how the name came up.
Just right or pre-COVID. Just
Literally March. It was March 20, I think. I registered the company, and it's going well. It's going well. I enjoy it.
So, do you import from, I guess, Spain, France, Italy, primarily?
Mainly Europe, which is obviously under the umbrella of Old World, and New World would be the likes of the Australias, New Zealand, Australia, South Africa, Chile, Argentina. But because I'm kind of fairly new on my own, I stick to Europe, and I like to import really high-end quality stuff.
Sure.
My Argentinian wine is is really, really good. And I was down in Mr. Trump's place in Doonbeg called the President's Blend. It's an Argentinian.
Mm.
And it's the industry. It's a good industry. I have a bit of a grey area. Rory's choice for the Masters, but sure, look.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about that. What were his choices?
If I can remember, it was Salon. It was the champagne, which is super stunning and
Good
expensive.
start.
Yeah, I've never tasted it actually. I've tasted Chateau de Cam.
Mhm.
Chateau de Cam is the Bordeaux dessert wine. It is stunning, absolutely stunning. The Bordeaux was it Lafite Rothschild, I think, which is one of the growths, the top end growths, like the premium of golf clubs, like it would be in the level of the Masters, Pinehurst #2, all this kind of. But that's the cream of the cream of a red wine from Bordeaux. And the Burgundy, I cannot remember the Burgundy. I was looking at a few different ones of Tiger and so on, but I can't remember Rory's, but like they are the cream.
That's
But
fantastic.
that's great for him because he can afford it. And I'm sure that if you're not a wine drinker, it's like somebody, okay, perfect example. You guys rate courses, you play courses. I'm sure every single one of them said that was gorgeous and had no idea what they were drinking.
Sure. There you go.
Yeah, because it's difficult when you learn the wine industry. You give somebody a really high quality Bordeaux, Burgundy, Barolo. Everyone just says, "Oh, that's nice."
It wasn't until I was in my 40s till probably late 30s that I started appreciating wines and learning more about varietals, right? I mean, back in the day, it was, oh, this is a Burgundy and this is a Merlot. Oh, okay, well, what are all the varietals? And then I finally branched out a little bit and went out to Sonoma and Napa. I like Sonoma a little bit better than Napa, but I've been there quite a few times, almost a dozen times now. And to the point where I really started getting into Russian River Valley Pinots, right? I don't know if you've been out there, but I'm not a connoisseur or an expert by any means, but I do enjoy, different varietals. I might have mentioned to you, I love Barbares from Northern Italy. I think those are just velvety, really cool. And again, I love Pinots, Pinot Noirs, and I like Malbecs. You mentioned Argentina.
Yeah, that's the thing. I worked in Napa Valley, a beautiful little town called Calistoga.
Yeah, love Calistoga. Yeah. I love staying there. It's at the north end of the valley.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And so I was over there doing a kind of a bit of learning from. We stayed in Rutherford up in Calistoga, and we visited Chateau Montelena, Cake Bread, Mondavi, the Italian. But the wines are stunning. They're absolutely incredible. But sadly, they're just a little bit expensive. And to get here,
true.
They just don't sell here. But when you get a good Malbec, Argentina are producing some incredible stuff.
Yeah, I'm a member of a club I can mention. It's called Ledson Winery. It's in Valley of the Moon, Sonoma. And there's the guy, Steve Ledson, built a castle. It's pretty cool. Anyway, they grow grapes all over there in Napa, Sonoma, you name it, north up in Anderson Valley. And they do a Malbec there. And it's pretty decent. I'll send you more info on it.
Yeah, we were in a place in Arroyo Seco down in Monterey.
Yeah.
Sorry for the pronunciation, yeah. And they were pulling up, I think they were pulling up Merlot and going with Malbec. Obviously, it works wherever they were trying to grow it. So,
yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. Well, James, we typically like to keep these interviews around 20 minutes or so.
Okay.
I've got a question for you, though. I ask this of everybody, and it's if you had your perfect foursome or gangsome or whatever that you could play with, living, dead, whomever it might be, who would that be for you?
Number one would be the old man, my dad. He passed away very, very quickly, incredibly quickly. I'll give you a good story, and we kind of call him a lucky so-and-so because he went for a game of golf in the morning. He went for 3 or 4 points with his friends who he played golf with and died at the bar. Nice way to go. Nice way to go.
Yeah, I mean, good point.
Nice way to go. So he'd be number one. My hero was always Padraig Harrington. Absolutely love Padraig. I think he's an incredible man. He's kind of the pro I would look back on and say he got everything out of this game. And I really admire Padraig. I followed him around. I think he's about a year or two older than me. And I played on the Leinster youths panel many, many years ago, but he was ahead of the game. He was going
He's
in.
still playing well on the senior tour. He's playing real well. He's
the
in
man.
good shape.
He was in Portmarnock, I think, last week. So yeah, he'd be number 2. And a guy I followed one day, and I thought he was such a nice fella, was David Duval. I watched David Duval in Portmarnock one time. He was playing with Tiger Woods and a gentleman called Lee Jansen, I think.
Lee Jansen, yeah. 2-time US Open
He
winner.
was such a nice guy, that David Duval. But not even that he was such a nice guy. He was the best. He was just, I think he was hitting like 5 irons, 6 irons, 7 irons into 10 feet. And he was just such a lovely fella. And I've always watched him. I was in America when he won the Open Championship. Yeah, that would be my 4.
That's a great foursome. That would be a lot of fun.
Halle Berry just
You're allowed to add a 5th. Yeah, that works.
gorgeous.
Love it. Love it. Well, James, I thank you for joining us. It's good to see you again. We'll keep in touch. I'm going to send you some info on some wines, and we'll try to see each other in person. Scooter and I will be back to the your island sometime in the next couple years. What's that?
Come back this year?
Probably not this year. No.
Okay.
We're going to do maybe a combined Scotland and Ireland trip next year.
Okay.
So I'll stay in touch, and we'll give you a heads up when this interview posts, and we'll go from there.
Gentlemen, Tom, Scooter, thanks so much. Really appreciate it.
Thanks again, James.
Thank you.
Take care.
Have a great day, gentlemen.
We'll see you guys.
Appreciate it, James. Good chat.
You too, man.
Take
Bye-bye.
care.
Bye now.